Do you? I mean, this episode is coming out like 2 days before Christmas. Do you have big Christmas plans?
I was actually talking to my roommates about that today because my brother is coming this weekend. So initially, I always do like a friendsgiving Christmas type of situation, but
Hmm.
this year, not only do we not have the energy for such, we also don't even have a couch. Okay, so there's nowhere to friendsgiving
What happened to
host.
your couch?
We moved to a new place, so it's just like been the
Oh,
last thing on our like agenda, quite frankly. So we're thinking of a going for KBBQ and eating our hearts out, or just ordering food from a Nigerian restaurant and ordering desserts and just like eating it because it's giving a
fair
very
enough.
lazy Christmas. How about
Yeah.
you?
Are you a Christmas person? It's gonna be around the same. Are you a Christmas person?
Very much a Christmas person. All I want for
Oh,
Christmas is me.
you want to hear my unpopular Christmas opinion?
No, but go ahead.
It's my podcast. I'm gonna say it anyways. Um, I think Christmas should last. I think Christmas should last 2 weeks. December 14th to December 31st. That's it. None of this December 1st, we start bringing out Christmas trees and we start playing Mariah Carey. No, you get 2 weeks. December, you guys, actually, no, is it? No, it's actually December 18th because you get 7 days before Christmas and 7 days after Christmas. That's it. 2 weeks, you're done. None of this, all
I'm
this
so sorry.
rubbish.
Capitalism will not let that run, quite frankly.
I'm just
We
saying
have
that's
already lost the battle.
that's my agenda. I just feel like we should not none of this like December 1st. We're already singing songs. No, no, no,
Actually
no.
gonna have to go find Mariah Carey personally. She's actually gonna be like, I'm sorry, you want me to it's time when? Middle of December? How will people remember
I'm just saying.
that?
She has made enough money from that song.
Fair enough, she's going to keep making the
Actually,
money
I
too.
saw something. I saw an interview with her when she was like, personally, she thinks it starts too early, but like the whole world is like clamors for this song. She's like,
Yeah.
I just have to
I just have to
oblige.
rise up. Like
Yeah,
she's a martyr.
but yeah, that's my Christmas take.
And
Too long.
honestly, it's not a wild one, so acceptable.
Yeah,
Very
way
acceptable.
too long.
Valid.
Anyway, okay, I already started the episode.
Yes, sir.
Hello and welcome to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. And welcome to Happy Valley, where unfortunately workers' rights are just as bad as they are on Earth. I'm Bankole and today we're discussing the seventh episode of For All Mankind Season 4. And joining me today, Angel.
As usual,
Do you want to
fabulous.
help me steal an asteroid?
Yes,
Welcome back to the podcast.
I do. That was the most badass shit I have seen on this show in a minute.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think we're gonna have a lot talk about all of that. But before all of that, guys, quickly, admin, slow horses. We're covering slow horses. At this point, we'll have 2 episodes out. The finale, obviously, slow horses is a 6 episode show. The finale will be out very soon, and we'll have an episode on that. For All Mankind, Angel was here last week. We discussed episode 6, Leningrad. Um, the week before, Ayo was on to talk about For All Mankind and why we love the show and try to pitch it to people that don't know the show and don't know about the show, which is apparently a lot of people. So if you listen to this and you have friends who don't watch For All Mankind, send them the episode. Maybe they will be converted. If you go a few weeks back, we have episodes on Invincible, we have episodes on Loki, Gen V. So yeah, just check all of that out. Okay, let's go straight into For All Mankind. This is titled Crossing the Line, written by Andrew Black and directed by Maya Virvelo. So I divided this episode into two: Mars and Earth. Where
Okay.
do you want to start?
Let's start with Mars. We started on Mars. Let's start with Mars.
Okay. Yeah. So quickly, a quick recap of what's going on in Mars this episode. It's been a week of the workers' strike, and the workers are essentially beginning to waver behind the scenes, at least. Apparently, we find out that the main deal point is for Goldilocks to come to the Mars orbit instead of Earth, which, as we know, because we watched the Leningrad episode, is a non-starter. That cannot happen. And that starts a cat and mouse game between the Helios workers and the astronauts and engineers. America and Soviet Union try to start the fuel generators themselves. Can I just pause here and say that, like, one of the funniest thing in the episode is when Irina is just calls the strike like a tantrum, and I was like, that how Soviet Union of you? Well, like she's just
Like
like this tantrum.
she's just like, honestly, I don't know the fuck they're doing up there. Not my business, but they'll get to
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, so they try to start the generators themselves, but the Helios workers catch wind of this and they take all the Mars suits outside and block the airlocks. I have a few questions like, surely they had suits to take the suits outside. But I guess maybe like
Maybe they
the
kept it
engine,
with them. Is that what I
yeah,
was
the engineers
thinking?
cannot force them to give them their suits. Danielle and her team decide to go under Mars after draining out the sewage. Meanwhile, Dev, Kelly, and baby Alex arrive on the Mars base. At this point, I was trying to figure out why Ed was so staunchly in favor of the strike because I was like, it just can't
Mm-hmm.
be to piss off Danielle. Then
Exactly.
he lets it
He
slip
has revealed
during
his real
yeah
feelings.
during his dinner that
He don't want
because
to
he
go
knows
back
that
home, child.
yeah he's because he knows that if Goldilocks goes to Earth's orbit, that's basically the end
From
of
Mars.
Mars. Yeah, and I think I didn't realize that it was that big a deal. Like I knew it was a big deal for the workers.
Yeah, but I really didn't deep it. Like when they were like, go to Earth, I was like, oh my God, yay, they figured out something. Like,
Mm-hmm,
let's take,
mm-hmm,
to the moon. It's easier. But I'm seeing the gravity of that because it's so real. Because they'll be like, why do we need Mars at this point? People are just dying. It's just conflict. Like, the asteroid is the biggest thing that's happened, and we took it to the moon. So they won't see any need to put any more money that the obscene amount they're already going to put into bringing it to the moon, into
mm-hmm.
Mars. Which, fair enough, that's actually a real valid fear for them.
Yeah. I just thought it was the workers obviously work only a year instead of years, but yeah, it makes I didn't know it
Yeah,
had
like
this long lasting impact on their Mars
exactly,
plans.
because think about it, the workforce is gonna become like nothing, child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's gonna be like a couple
Um
people.
yeah, and when Palmer and his people arrive at the generators, they find that a thingamajig, I couldn't be asked to like write down what it was, has been removed by the Helios workers. So they try to like MacGyver a new one, which works a bit until I'm sure any For Mankind fan watching expected what
Oh,
happens next,
child.
which is that
Once
it
I saw
blows
that
up.
shit start rattling, I'm like, y'all see metal pipes rattling and you're outside not to turn it off? Ah, sorry.
It's funny because like when he's like, I'm going to create a new one, I'm like, okay, we know how that's going. That is not going to end up
It's
well.
not gonna go well.
But then they start playing their like, oh, we are so smart music because there's a music that For Mankind plays on
Hopeful,
this.
hopeful it's gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
we're so
worked.
smart about fixing the problem. I was like, oh, maybe they're actually going to fix the problem. And the music just cuts on. I was like, oh, okay, we're in trouble. We're
Like
in
it's
trouble.
dead. Living dead.
Um, and it leads to it leads to an accident.
Which honestly
Um,
went much better than I expected. I thought everybody there was gone.
yeah, only one person dies. One
Yeah.
person is seriously disfigured. And
Mm-hmm.
other people have a few
They're
burns.
traumatized. Yeah.
Yeah, and the accident leads to NASA deputizing a few astronauts stroke engineers with military training. And that goes about as well as you can expect. Hashtag defund the
Literally
police.
deep sigh as heck.
But yeah, but not before apparently discussing activating their armed CIA and KGB assets who are
Which is very
currently
interesting because that made me think, who do you think the CIA asset is?
I think that's someone that we don't know because we don't really know any. We only know
Any
Palmer, and Palmer is even a
intelligence?
Helios
Yeah.
worker.
Yeah.
We don't
They
really
don't
know
really go
any
into
engineer.
intelligence part of it. So, but it just made me wonder, like, would it be somebody we know? Like,
No,
could
because
it
I
be
think all the people we
people?
know are Helios workers.
Yes, but like, doesn't mean they couldn't be working for the CIA too.
No, but I think the person working for say is NASA. I think that's what they said.
Fair enough. Okay,
Is
that's
NASA.
true.
You can only
Yeah,
trust
and
a
if he's a
NASA
NASA
person.
worker, then we
Hmm.
definitely won't know because they haven't really
Yeah.
focused on them.
The only NASA worker we know is Danielle.
Yeah.
So
Which is what I was thinking. Could it be Danny?
no,
I don't
no, it
know.
couldn't be her.
Mm.
Plus, she knows what happens when people have guns in space.
First-hand experience. That is
Yeah.
very true.
Okay, so Dev interrupts the workers' discussion, quote unquote, to essentially offer them a lot of money to stop their negotiations. All but a few of them, including Sam and Ed, accept.
Shout out to capitalism.
So, okay, that's a good point. I want to ask you, would you cross the line,
Baby, we're
Angel?
talking about if we don't accept this deal today, by tomorrow it will be too late for us to do anything about it. Baby, I'm crossing that line.
I don't know why Sam doesn't accept this.
Sam, I don't know what her higher purpose is at this point. It's like they've given you almost everything. She doesn't care about the colony on Mars. So I really don't understand.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
because
about losing. She doesn't want to lose. I don't know.
yeah, maybe she doesn't want to feel like capitalism
Because
is winning and like, but
exactly, but she needs to realize that, baby, you have till the end of day today. If you guys don't come to something by tomorrow, all your striking will be for naught because they're sending you home broke,
yeah,
regardless.
I don't know why she doesn't accept this because l- that scene starts with her being like, "This has gone too far,"
Mm-hmm.
and they're basically yeah. On one hand, maybe you don't trust Dev, fair enough, but like if everybody is going up to his side and like he's
Yeah.
basically offering you what I can't remember, was it 40% more in your pension,
Yeah.
stock in
First
Helios, like
100 people are basically going to make it $1 million. Like, can we be real?
like so just take it. Like air down. Like I don't understand. Like I was like, and this maybe this is capitalism winning in my head for against me. Which like I just don't understand why you
When you have
don't
a
just
good
take this
deal,
deal. It's a
why
good
say
deal.
no? Yeah. It's
It's
as
a
good
good
a
deal.
deal as they were going to get because he had already made it
Yeah.
emphatically clear the asteroid is not coming to motherfucking Mars. Even though
And
we
like they
find out later
also
that he's a goddamn fucking liar. But,
mhm,
it doesn't
they
come.
they caved in on their like health requests, everything. So just like the only thing they don't cave
Exactly.
in is the
It's
asteroid.
the
I'm just like,
asteroid, and that's not
come
happening.
on,
And we
Sam.
know why that's not happening. Like, literally, logistically impossible. I'm so
Maybe
sorry.
maybe that's why. Maybe because we Sam thinks it's a possibility. But even at that, when if everybody goes
Everybody else
but
is gone. There are literally but
you,
five left of them. Literally five
and
of
one
them
of
left.
those is like a Helios,
And one
he's
of those,
rich.
literally, his skin in exactly. He has no skin
Yeah,
in this game. He don't
Ed
care
is rich.
regardless.
Like
It does not matter to him.
anyway. So yeah, and then that leads us to the final scene of the episode and the hardest needle drop that this show has ever dropped.
Literally, literally.
It's so it's funny. So, what happened? What was that
That's what I did
gasp?
when the episode ended.
Oh, okay. So I'd seen somewhere that like episode 7 has a big needle drop. And then
Mm.
I played the episode, but mistakenly played it at the end. So I heard the song, but it's still like
It still had the impact.
it still had the impact, even though I knew the song was coming, like just the
Yeah.
way it works. I I feel so bad as a black man and a hip hop fan that like
I
X Gonna Give to You is now just tied to Deadpool for me. Every time
ah!
I think about the song, I think
You think
about
of the
Deadpool,
scene,
and I feel
yeah.
so. I feel like I should give up my black card. I just feel so,
Bye. That's just association done
yeah,
fantastically.
like it's just the rest of my life. Or whenever I think about X Gonna Give It to You, whenever I hear the song, I think about Deadpool, and I feel so bad. But yeah, Dev basically tells Ed that his strike was never going to achieve what he wanted, which is the truth. And then he says it out. He says what everybody has been saying in their heads out
Like,
loud, that Ed does not want to leave Mars. And
exactly.
We know Dev doesn't want to leave Mars anyway, either, because he told his mom as
He
much.
ain't coming back. Yeah.
And then he asks Ed to let me make sure I wrote this down, because I wrote it down. I want to make sure I get the exact words.
Perfect.
Help him steal an
An
asteroid, which
asteroid. Yes,
I have.
sir.
It's I don't know which is the more like outlandish request this season. Help me steal an asteroid, or help me bring my wife from North Korea to
No,
Mars.
okay, no, let's talk about that one. We didn't even talk about that during that
Yeah,
podcast
because
episode.
there's
But
no
guys,
development. Yeah, but go
yeah, no,
ahead.
because there would have been no development, but that's just to say you wanted him to smuggle somebody out of North Korea to
What do you
Mars.
think is the hardest part of that transaction? Out of North
Definitely the
Korea
to
or
Mars.
into
Out
Mars?
definitely the out of North Korea part. Into Mars, clearly they'll be smuggling all sorts of shit. But the out of North Korea, I'm so sorry. What do you think is gonna happen here?
So you think it's easier to get someone out of North Korea than to get them into Mars?
I
That's an
think it's easier to
interesting
get them
take.
into Mars than to get them out of North
Sorry,
Korea.
yeah, you think it's harder to get
Exactly.
them out of North
Oh,
Korea?
baby, 100%.
That's, a, that's an interesting take.
You'd
Which is
sooner die than make it out.
yeah, that's probably true. But yeah, I mean, we should note that like there's minute, like I think there's one shot of Miles this episode.
Yeah.
So it's also the shortest, I think shortest ever episode for
We've
mankind. It's
actually
like 40
yeah,
something minutes.
we've moved on quite from Miles,
No,
Milos.
I think that will
True.
come back. I think that's gonna
No, no,
come
I
back
mean
next.
this
Like,
episode we didn't
oh
focus on
yeah,
him. That yeah,
this
you just
episode
made me
was
realize
nothing.
that.
There's just that one shot where you see Ilya and Miles look at each other, and then that's it, really. Yeah. So I don't know. I have no. I don't think, even if I had any science knowledge, I don't think I can explain
Literally,
what
my thought was
Dev
like,
wants to
how
do.
how how is he going to do it? First of all, NASA, Helios, everybody's working on this with the same engineers. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, how? What?
But yeah, it's like
I
help
guess
me
we'll
steal
find
an
out his plan.
yeah, we'll find out next week. Help me steal an asteroid, because like I don't know. I guess maybe if they get into Mars orbit, then there's nothing
I don't even
like
know
that
what
can
they
be done
mean.
about
Like
it.
maybe they're going to pull it towards Mars by force. I don't know how. When everybody's
Surely it has
working
to be done in a way that nobody can trace it back to them.
exactly,
And I guess
or
the
up
plan is like,
until the last minute they can't change fucking anything.
yeah, and then once it's in Mars orbit, then there's nothing that can be done. They just have to like mine
They
it
just
in
have to go
Mars's
with the
orbit.
exactly with the plan, and it's weird because it's definitely not Ed that's going to be flying or I mean trying to grab the asteroid. So like, how do they plan to really do this?
Well, he said that like, which I guess is the reason why they have some people who are hardlining, because it's like it was impressive to see that you have some
The rest of
people.
them are dedicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's not just going to be him and Ed. There are at least
Others,
five hardliners.
which Dev
Um,
can easily push to the front of the line because Helios,
yeah,
he run that.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, again, none of them is an engineer or astronaut. But again, I guess Dev owns Helios. He could probably get a few people on his side from the
Exactly.
Helios team.
Easily, child. If anything, he
Yeah,
can bribe them. So,
yeah, throw in a few millions or if, yeah.
like,
Not like he needs his money. He's no
I
longer
love
going
that
to be on
Karen
Earth.
taught him that lesson that, people go and protect their pockets before they protect the dream.
Yeah,
Sorry.
fair, fair enough. Yeah, I was just like, okay, we're gonna steal an asteroid. I don't. I'm like, okay, whatever the hell that means.
Ah,
Um, yeah, I'm very excited. Like, this is like it's one of those times where I'm like, oh, this is gonna take a lot of um mental strength and mental will to not watch the next episode to
no,
like
say again.
record first because
Again. Because
I'm
you know what
just
I felt like? I just felt like, when you're like, we're back. Like,
mhm,
not that we
mhm.
haven't been back this season, just
No,
it just really
we
felt
haven't been back. We've been back, but
we
like
get there.
now we're so
Like
fucking back.
now we're
Now we're more
actually
back.
so fucking back. I was just like, damn. I feel like after that, literally same. I was like, "Ugh, why not just binge the rest right now? But I was like,
Yeah,
Angel integrity.
thank you for that. Well, best for the audience. But yeah, I mean, Leningrad obviously was a great episode. I really enjoyed that episode,
Yeah.
last week's episode, and this one is just like really now ratchets in tension. Any other thoughts you want to say on Mars before
Yes,
we go
before
to
we
Earth?
leave Mars, we need to talk about Ed and beating his grandson, for God's sake. I mean, like him be like, pop up, like, baby, this boy don't know you. Like, he said he don't want the cheese, you gonna put the cheese on his pasta. Like, what do you think this is?
Man,
Trying to
glad he
form
hasn't
force
changed.
familiarity. Not one single
Glad he hasn't
bit.
changed from the days of Shane. I'm glad that Ed is still Ed.
Yo. They said at his core, he's still the same man. I know
It's
we've
like,
seen growth and I know
yeah,
we've seen downfall, but it's still Ed.
at least he won't
Cycles
be teaching
repeating.
Alex how to ride a bike anytime soon. So that's
Oh,
good.
child, please don't even remind me, my heart.
Oh, Shane. Yeah, yeah, that was like, yeah, I was like, bro, what are you doing? Just
Literally,
don't. He didn't even wait for him to answer the question. He just put the cheese, and I was like, you don't even know if this guy is lactose intolerant. You don't know if this is
he
going to
could
kill the
it
boy.
could kill him physically or literally send him to the
Oh,
hospital. You know he
uh,
fragile. My God,
so
this Carlos.
yeah, and I guess a good point, just quickly on Alex. The doctor mentions that like Alex basically
He's a
behaves
Martian.
better in yes,
Yeah,
basically
that's
is
what
a
he said
Martian.
in no certain words. Because when he said that, I was thinking, so is Alex technically the first Mars Earth child? Because I know his dad was in Martian, but he's giving the air entered.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I guess legally he was born on,
he was born in,
was it the Helios
in
ship or the
yeah, he was
NASA
born.
ship?
It was Helios.
So I guess was it Helios?
It was Helios.
Oh,
Or was it
okay.
NASA? It was
Because
NASA
no, it
one.
was NASA.
NASA
It
one.
was NASA. I think it was
That's
NASA. So he
yeah,
was. So that's like
exactly.
American land,
Exactly. I
but
guess
realistically, he was born in space
he was born in space,
in
Mars orbit.
Mars's orbit. So
That's a child of Mars.
yeah. Um. Because I've seen this theory that maybe Ed doesn't want, like, maybe Ed won't be able to even survive back on Earth just because of the atmosphere and the gravity.
Mm. He's probably got to
Um.
used to things and being lighter because he is very old, honestly.
Yeah. Like,
Probably helping him out a little bit.
so I've seen that theory around. That's the reason why he, like, maybe he's afraid of going back just because, like,
No, that's definitely no way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's yeah. Ugh, Ed. So, well, yeah, Dev and Ed want to steal an asteroid, which should be very fun. I don't even know
Very, very
what their
exciting stuff.
plan is. That's
Like, I'm just excited to see it. Like, good, bad, all of it.
oh. Okay, let's go to Earth. Let's go to Earth.
Mm-mm-mm.
So, I guess before I start, I have to like give you your flowers because you called the
Thank
Margo
you very much.
return, which
Thank you very
is still
much.
insane to me, and I'm glad that it was insane to Margo as well. She was like, "What are you talking
She's
about?
like, what do you mean? Like,
I
you
am
want me to go
not
back
going
on
back."
American soil? Of course.
Because you last week you were like, "Oh, what would the reception be?" And I was like, "There'll be no reception because she's not going to go back. She's not insane." But yeah, the only thing more insane than that, or the only thing insane enough to do that, is the pride of men,
And
because
100%.
Irina informs Margot about the insane idea for her to represent the Soviet Union in Houston.
Yep.
Apparently, they've negotiated diplomatic immunity for her. Margot obviously states that this makes no sense
I
and
was
she's
like,
not
who
comfortably doing
negotiate?
it.
I never asked to return to the US. Don't know why you
Yeah, she was
asked me
like, that
about
was not part of the plan. Irina was like, plans have changed. Because Irina
it.
says that this is coming
She's a
straight from the
mafia boss.
president. Yeah, Margot points out that it's just the president. It's just a pissing match between
Yeah,
the president
obviously
and
he's trying to be like,
Al
look,
Gore.
yes, your science is defective. She was the head of NASA. Now she's coming back to
Which I mean,
represent.
fair. I mean, fair. If you're going to be the head of Russia, or
Ooh,
sorry, the Soviet Union,
100%. Yeah,
you have to you have to flaunt your cards when you have them. So
hundred
fair. It's
percent,
like,
100%. Like, what did she think that they were
um,
just going to let her be in the background, girl?
yeah, and then this is essentially the thorough line of the tension on Earth in this episode, because while Aleida is on their Fox News equivalent, she's blindsided by this news. She was there talking about Goldilocks, and now she's talking about Moscow Madison. Or is
Yeah,
it it's Moscow Margot?
yeah, Moscow Margo, which
Moscow
is
Margot.
very insane.
So Aleida goes to confront Eli after we see a bit of her very, very incredible TV interview.
Which I
Um,
fucking loved.
Actually,
Sorry,
can I just quickly
mimicking
shout
her.
out whoever casted and whoever whoever the daughter is and whoever cast her, because
Mm-hmm.
she looks like Cora Pena's
Child.
doppelganger.
Yeah.
Like, obviously physically, like, yeah. So it just it doesn't make sense. They just
Like there's a
look so much
resemblance. Like you
alike.
look at her, you look at the, you're like, girl, that is
If you
your
told me that they were
child.
sisters, I would fully believe you because like they look so much alike. Anyway, so Alida goes to confront Eli to draws a line that she won't that he can't give Margot diplomatic immunity and that she wouldn't work with
Mm-hmm.
Margot. But before they can fully debate it, he's informed about the incident on Mars. Um,
Which, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, let me just interject here. I
mhm.
don't think that was a hard in like a real hard line for Alida. I felt like it was more like she felt like she needed to say that this is a hard line. Not saying that it isn't, but it was definitely one she would work through.
Oh, she would have no choice.
She would not quit over that.
She
That's
doesn't have that kind of power.
100%.
Like, yeah, like what is she talking about?
Exactly.
She just has to bust like to say that she does. She's not gonna like
Yeah,
what's
she
she
just
gonna
have to
do?
say have her say because she's like, well, I can't work with her. I'm like, girl, you don't have
Dev is
to.
on Mars, Kelly's on Mars.
Like they
Who's gonna do the job? Like she doesn't have a choice.
like, what are you talking about?
This might be democracy, quote unquote, but like she's still not like what is the alternative? She just has to like say her piece
She
so that
won't
she can say
just
that I said
follow
it.
the bullets and go on. They've already worked together in
Hmm.
person. She'll be fine.
Yeah, but yeah, so Margot eventually arrives at NASA for a 90-second sequence that
Yeah,
honestly felt
literally
like
just
90 minutes to me because
100%. I was looking at her
I
walking. I'm
was
like,
waiting for someone to
please
shoot her.
stop, stop. I
So
kept
that didn't
saying
come
she's
to your
gonna
mind
die.
even
I kept
once.
saying she's gonna die. I said
Oh, okay,
she's
so
either
okay,
gonna
yeah.
die or gonna trip. I was like, something's gonna happen. It's either gonna be embarrassing or fatal.
I
I'm just
was
like,
so sure there was like a sniper coming. I was
because I'm
so
like,
sure
she's
like
not no way she's just gonna walk up these stairs. I was like, maybe Alina will come through a paint balloon at her. I don't know.
no, not Ali, not Alina, please. No, I know. I was so sure there would be like an America first kind of
You know,
lunatic
something like that, like traitor child.
because I know like the filmmakers knew what they were doing. That was not they knew we would think that because they go to all these like wide shots and like vantage point shots where you're like, oh, could the sniper be sitting here or standing here
Exactly
or whatever?
the advantage we're looking for.
Because also there was no security. Like I'm sure there was security, but there was no
Nothing. It
security
was
that
just
we
her
could see.
and the head of NASA like that, just walking up the
I was
stairs,
like,
like
you
chai.
guys.
In the open,
Oh,
NASA is an open. I mean, maybe getting in there is a little tough. I don't know.
yeah, but outside,
It's
I'm sure
still
they
in
can.
open area. Like
Yeah,
somebody
it's
could have
like
sniped that.
you guys are very, very like blasé about
Cavalier
this.
about
So
this,
someone might
hundred
just like
percent.
take a pop at her. Um, but yeah, so Margot is at NASA. Um, I would assume the next episode will start because obviously this was like a week after last week's episode. But I assume this next
Yeah,
episode will start quite soon. So we can actually see Margot at NASA. I guess the thing is like really, there's no one at NASA that Margot
would
should know.
remember her really
I mean,
well.
like they
I
all know
mean,
her by
except
like
that guy,
reputation.
the astronaut, the first one to come out as gay in space. He would know Margot because he was
Yeah,
on
he would
that
know her, but
like
they never
one.
really interacted.
Yeah, they never really work together. It's really Alida that this affects the most.
Yeah.
Molly's dead. Everybody else is like
Bill is not a NASA or
exactly. So
Helios.
people are going to be like, yeah, I get it, like she's a traitor, but relax. But for Alida, it's so deeply personal because
Yeah.
that's literally her mentor.
Because the truth is like at NASA, there's no one that we care about
Exactly.
anymore apart from Will. But even like yeah.
Well, can we even really say we care about him like that? I don't
Now
know.
I was gonna say like even like
Like I
just
don't
like,
know much about that
we
man.
spent time with him, not really caring. But like yeah, it should definitely be like, oh, this traitor has come back. But in terms of like the relationships that we care about, obviously Alida is gonna have to work with her.
She's going to walk through her problems,
Yeah,
child.
she has to work through her problems.
Maybe she has to scream. I don't know, but she'll have to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm
I'm
excited
still
to
just
see
thinking about the
like
fact that they want to steal an asteroid.
that's what I'm literally about. I'm like excited to see what these next three episodes are saying. Like, do they steal the asteroid? What is their plan? I want to see how they plan to accomplish this. That is very actually intriguing to me because I'm just really like, what are you planning to do in literally plain sight? They want to do this
Hmm.
in plain sight. As in, we're all working together for this, but them, they're working inside this,
The
working together
plainest of sights, man. It's
to
just
steal
out
it
there in
to Mars.
space.
Ha. Literally, because you also need to remember they're so detached from everything on Earth. It's like not
Hmm.
detached, but it takes a while for things to move there. So it's like by the time they finish stealing this asteroid, maybe everybody just has to adjust now. Okay, it's coming to Mars. How long do we have? Let's start mining. Let's build this mine because
Well, I
that will be
mean,
the only
it
alternative.
doesn't hurt that Dev is on Mars, so like that part
Exactly. It
would
gives it a
be.
little bit more validity, is even the
But
truth.
I mean, again, we know what they said last episode that like the nations of the GM7 don't want to do
Yeah.
this if it's going to take decades for them to see
And it's
the.
going to cost them, yeah, this much. So maybe Dev has figured out a way to get it out because if he's trying to redirect it to Mars, he must have a way to shorten the timeline of, getting to
Or
this
maybe he's just going to
particular
be like,
point.
you don't have a choice.
Or he's
Like,
going to be like, you know what, we'll blow the asteroid towards Mars.
or it's like, it's either you take the
You
dividends
take the
in
10-year
decades
timeline,
or
or
nothing.
you
Yeah.
give everything to Helios. So let me be
Yeah.
going. Mind
Um,
you, at that point they would have already invested their money for the moon anyway. So he's anyway. We'll see what he plans to
we'll
do.
actually
Dev is
see.
a smart man. Mm,
We'll actually see. This is, yeah, still an asteroid. That's so interesting. Where do we stand on Ed dying this season? Are we more
very
pro?
hopeful about that.
It's not hopeful. Come on.
I don't want him to keep me in a minute. I need something.
Well, I mean, so something when we did the pitch episode, like pitching the show to our listeners with when I do with AO, he mentioned about how this show is very good at like redeeming characters as well.
It is.
Um, and so like if they wanted to like if Ed gets so bad that they felt like they wanted to redeem it, it's still possible.
Oh no, 100%. I feel like he'll still go. Like when he actually dies, we won't hate him anymore. Like
Mm,
we will be mad about things he's done, but we'll be like, okay, this is the Ed that we are used to rooting for. This is the one we love type of exit because honestly, he doesn't really deserve to go out as a villain. But if I'm
yeah.
being real, thinking about Ed's real true character, that man is awful. Yes, he has grown a
Yeah,
lot.
he was awful, but he was always like not even
That's always like, oh, that man was awful.
yeah, but he was always like our go America go hero, man.
Exactly, and that's why
He
we
was
still rooted for him because in his regular self he's awful, but like when it comes to the space program NASA, you're like, wow, he's fantastic. Like, oh
which
my
is
god,
interesting now because this is the first time we get to see Ed, at least since the not the pilot, the premiere of this season, get to do space stuff.
stuff exactly
Like
because it's
space
been
action stuff.
menial, and this just ended up working in his favor to end up where he wants. So
Yeah.
it was very surprising to me that him and Dev were actually on the same page. Like I was very
Well, I
surprised.
mean, well, it's funny because the show has told us both of
Multiple
them
points exactly, but we
just
just
not
didn't make that
together.
connection.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So does that Dev wants to stay, so does that wants to stay
yeah.
on Mars, so does that Ed doesn't want to leave Mars. So just like, okay,
Well, like those are
now.
two mutually exclusive things. Those don't matter. But they're like, no, they're
Hmm.
actually quite intimately more connected than you think. So yeah, I'm excited to see how
Yeah.
that relationship moves forward.
Yeah, like I said, this was the shortest episode I think for Mokana has ever done, 40
Yeah.
something minutes. So just want to make sure we haven't forgotten anything before we wrap up here. Yeah, because yeah,
I
still an
think we talked
asteroid.
about
It's
the
just
big things for me. The asteroid, Margo, Alida's outrage, their grandson, and greed.
greed. I remember when Dev was like to see them motivated by money would be
Would
sad
be
if it
just
wasn't so funny.
it was so predictable. Like it's happening. Like
Yeah.
he learned that lesson the hard way.
So what to assume that Miles obviously crossed over. Like I'm surprised he wasn't the first person. To be fair,
AE Miles, of course now.
considering how
I'm
that.
surprised he actually wasn't the first. To be fair, what if was he actually at that meeting?
I mean, that's a good point. He was. We know he was at the first one, and we didn't see him at the second
Yeah,
one. But I just assumed that
I
like
don't categorically. I assumed he was there, but I don't categorically remember seeing him.
yeah. But even if he wasn't, like we know he would have signed on to like
Oh, 100%. That man's all about his bag.
yeah. He doesn't. He's not here for
Focused.
space exploration. Doesn't care about that.
Huh?
Just wants to.
Huh?
And
He
you
wants
know
to
what?
be running the world of
Maybe
Mars.
that's a good thing. He just cares about taking care of his family.
And that's fantastic if he
Yeah.
really wasn't willing to stab everybody in the back to get that done.
That's fair. That is fair.
I think those
um,
North Koreans realize they've been playing. He's been playing them like a fiddle. I can only
that's
pray.
so interesting because, like, I don't
You
understand
see
what
how you
Miles is
cannot help
thinking
it.
of doing with the North Korea. I mean, we can just talk about Miles quickly. Like, does he expect that they would just s- like stop asking?
Do you get what I'm saying? He's going to expect his wife. Yeah, you told me Ilya was lying. Okay, but what's your plan? Where's my
And
wife?
considering the fact that he's used them as muscle, he knows how dangerous they are.
Exactly.
So doesn't
He
not think that
used
that
them
gun
as
will
muscle
backfire
against
against him.
the Soviets. That's insane.
Like, if you use a gun to shoot somebody, surely you know that gun, if turned against you, will kill you.
Don't
Like,
destroy.
it's not rocket science. Like,
He might be the
no pun
first
intended.
murder
On
on
Mars.
Mars.
Huh? Wait. Oh yeah, no one has been murdered on Mars.
Mhm. All unintentional deaths.
On Mars itself, we've had two deaths.
Mm, on the surface of
Yeah,
Mars. Yeah, let me think.
yeah,
That
on the
guy that
surface
just
of
glowed.
Mars.
Yeah,
The other two
yeah.
died in orbit.
Honestly, it feels like it's been way more.
Well, because on the moon we had several
We had calamities
people
on the
just be
moon,
dying on the
child.
moon, man.
Oh my
It's like
god, that moon was terror for the people. But you see how much they suffer for the moon and how much easier Mars was. Like basically, all they had to do for Mars was land.
true. Yeah, and they weren't even the first.
Exactly. But yeah, this
Um,
is all to say, guys. I'm so excited about the show. Like honestly,
yeah.
don't know what next season is looking like. Don't know how the season is going to end, but I'm here for it. Like I will tell my friend. Like she just, I got my friend obsessed with Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and she just got her
Ooh.
coworker obsessed with it. And I told her like, look, baby, this is my next campaign. You just listen to me. Think space. I know you don't like the science, but think drama. Yes, NASA is just a consequence of their lives. I tell you
Yeah, like you don't really need to care about the space about,
at
or the science of this.
all.
The drama is there.
You will enjoy it for whatever you're looking for. Is it a good story? Yes. Acting down. Plot solid. Budget high. You will enjoy it.
It hasn't been renewed for a season 5, which is rare. Because usually this show
That's
gets renewed quite
interesting.
early when it comes out.
Maybe everybody's feeling
So,
this inflation. No?
mm,
Apple, please, I need you to stay steady.
yeah, like Apple, this is not the time to start caring about money
Nah, 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 nah,
or
nah. Focus on the art.
or viewers.
Focus on the art.
Yeah, go renew our little space show. Um, yeah, because I've been seeing a lot of people, like I've seen the creators do press for this show, and I'm always scared when creators are doing
When they
extra
start doing
press.
press, it's like, hey,
Like, when they're doing more than
is
normal
this
press and
giving a
doing
Wikipedia
Reddit AMAs, I'm like,
situation? Bye.
like what's going on? Have they been told something in a
Trying to
closed door
generate
meeting?
buzz. They're trying to generate buzz.
But yeah, I mean, look, we're having a great time. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for the last 3 episodes. Like every time I've zoned out in this recordings because I just keep
You
on
just
saying
keep,
to
I'm just thinking
myself,
about
"Do you
Alicia
want to
with the
steal
play
an
right now.
asteroid?"
Like
I just
such a
keep on
hard
replaying those
line.
words.
Such a,
Oh,
it's literally
uh,
such a mic drop moment. Like,
and it's
brilliant.
like
Done.
it's so good because like I'm obviously the music works so well. I'm sure the person that wrote it was like,
The
"This is
music,
incredible."
like,
Like,
they're like, you need that hype. Like,
but the
yeah.
actors, like Idigathegi's facial expression when he says that, Joe Kinnaman's like little smile when he does that,
Like,
it's just like it's
are you
actually
for
so
real?
it gets me. So I've played that like 4 times.
You can say
Like
that
obviously
again.
part of it
I
is
think
because
I was
sorry, go
shocked.
ahead. Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry, just one thing. I was just so shocked. I was like, let me just hear that again. Did he say still the asteroid? I just wanted to make sure those were the words. Yeah.
I mean, I played it. I think when what did I have there like maybe like 10 p.m. or whatever, and I just let the entire song just play. Then I went back and I played it again. I was just like I almost wanted to stand up and salute the screen. I was like, yes.
You
And
felt
like the
like a
problem is,
comrade. I felt
yeah,
like, wow, I was part of
the problem
them.
is that like, I mean, I hope not, but like, there's a very high chance that like the payoff would not match the excitement of those three
Oh,
minutes.
God
But it
forbid
does
would
not
they ever
matter.
do that. No, they've already done it for me. That's the thing. With those 3 minutes,
Yeah.
they've done it for me. Because
Do you want to
not
steal an
only is it
asteroid?
insane, it's so unexpected because of all the things I thought Dev was going there to say, that
Mm-hmm.
was definitely not one of them.
Not one of them.
I thought I was going to say, hey, Ed. I thought I was going to fire him. I can't even lie. I thought he was actually going to fire him.
Yeah,
Not, I need
I
your
never
help.
thought he was on their side. I didn't think
Yeah,
it
not
was
I
on their
need your
side.
help. And to further now say, yeah, to steal an asteroid. Baby, what are we talking about? Is this the Twilight Zone? But that's one thing about Dev's character, a very unexpected individual. He is a
Look, this is the
catalyst
man
for
that said
change.
this is the man that said the story about Icarus is not
It's not about
flying
saying he
too
needed
close to the
better
sun.
wings.
You need better
AG,
fucking wings.
AG. He said, y'all be scared to fly to the sun. Mm-mm. That's not the problem.
You need better fucking wings,
Step up your
man.
gear. And he ain't lying. Cause someone finna make it to the sun.
True. Anyway, okay, let's wrap it up. There. We'll just keep on talking about this same line for the next 10 minutes. We'll be back next week to talk
Yes.
about episode 8
Very
of
excited.
um For Mankind season 4. When I guess they will try to steal an asteroid, we'll find out.
Mm.
Either this week's episode, next week's episode, or the episode 9 is titled Brazil, which I have no idea what that even means, but we'll find out in a week or
We'll
so.
see, I guess.
For now, everyone, please have a great Christmas.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's so true. Merry happy holidays, everyone,
yeah,
actually.
happy holidays. Angel, have a great meal.
Thank you so
In
much.
your,
I'm about to
I
make
want to
food
mention this
myself.
earlier. So that's actually one of the wildest things because obviously I'm currently in the UK, and in the UK, most places are furnished. Like you can find a place that's unfurnished, but like that's rare. Most places that you're moving, especially unless it's like a house that you're buying, but most places that you're renting are furnished. And my brother was
Really?
moving. My brother is in America. And he was moving the other day, and he was like, "Oh yeah, so they have to go and get a couch." I was like, "Why do you have to go and get a couch?"
It don't
And he was
come with
like, "Cause,"
furniture.
and I was like, "What are you talking about?" So
All you
it's
get is
so
a space.
it's so wild to me that you have to every time you move, you have to get new furniture,
Have
like a
to
new
come with
bed and everything.
furniture or buy new
That's
stuff. And
so
for
long.
me, this is the first time buying furniture really because prior I'd been living like in student accommodation like buildings, like so it
Hmm.
was always
Oh, fair.
furnished, cheaper rents, etc. Even my last apartment that wasn't even student accom, it was furnished and I was living by myself. That's what I was used to in like BC. When I moved to Toronto, child, all you get is space. Space, space, space. Bring your bed. Like literally when I moved, I was literally sleeping on my air mattress at first because I was like, I need a high bed. I was
That's
trying to find
so
the right bed.
expensive, man. And
Man.
then I don't like last thing I want is to be like buying a bed because like
Oh my god.
now I have all that pressure. Like you have to get the right
You have
bed.
to get the
You
right
have
bed
to,
because you know this bed
that's
finna last.
that's
And right now I'm even
way too much
reconsidering
pressure.
my headboard. I'm regretting it low. And I'm like, and there's no time for regrets. I need to make it work for me, and that's what I'm gonna do. So
Uh anyway.
so yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for coming back, Angel.
Thank
And
you
I'll
for
see you next
having
week.
me.
We're
Hopefully
talking about
next week
episode
we'll see what the
episode
cast is
8.
saying. Maybe I'll have a new laptop and you guys will see my face.
We finally see her face. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Please share with your friends who watch For All Mankind. Tell your friends who
Yes.
does watch For All Mankind to watch For All Mankind. And then join us next week when we'll be joined by Daniel Kaluuya. Bye guys.